Hi, everybody. My name's Erin, and we have Ramsey here as well. And today we're excited to talk to you about our Southeast Asia and South Asian heritage. We hope that you get to learn about our culture, our where we're from, and hopefully this will encourage you to learn about your own heritage or somebody else's heritage within work or outside work.
Hi everyone. So I'm from this tiny nation that's called Sri Lanka, which is the pearl of the Indian Ocean, as they say.
As for me, I am from the Philippines, and it's not far from Japan and Thailand. So yeah,
I mean, one thing that comes to mind is how we greet people. We say "Ayubowan," so yeah, which means "May you live long." It's such a lovely way of starting a conversation in Sri Lanka usually. It's just not just a greeting like you would say over here in the UK, like hi or you're all right, but like a genuine wish for the other person's well-being. And another thing that we always talk about is our hospitality in Sri Lanka. In Sri Lanka, it doesn't matter who you are or if you're walking into someone's home,
yeah,
you'll be offered a hot cup of Ceylon tea before you even had a chance of sitting down. um, yeah, that's just how we are. People go out of their way, make guests feel welcome, and it's just something that is deeply rooted in our culture. Um, but compared to like UK, where greetings and hospitality are warm but more reserved, I guess. I feel Sri Lankan culture can feel a lot more expressive. Um, yeah, they just love to express themselves, basically. Um, I love that I've had the chance of experiencing both, and I carry a bit of each with me wherever I go. So yeah,
amazing.
where do I start? Interestingly, Sri Lanka probably holds the world record for most public holidays. I, um, I think we've got around 25 to 30 in a calendar year, apart from the weekends, which is a bit of a running joke where I compare with my colleagues in the UK. There's always something to celebrate. That's why. So every full moon, which happens every month, you get a holiday. Then we got our four main religions. So there's a whenever there's a religious event, there's a holiday, national day. So you name it, like there's a
Mhm.
holiday always. Um, so it happens like every month. There's a long weekend, which we look forward to. In terms of celebrations, like one of the biggest celebrations in Sri Lanka is the Sinhalese and Tamil New Year, which is also called Avrudu. Um, it usually happens in April.
Mhm.
It's a time where everything pauses basically. Schools to businesses, even the news just pauses. Like families get together, they'll play out the games, cook traditional food. One of the go-to and the famous is kiribat, which is milk rice, which my
Mhm.
Mrs. loves. We always prepare it.
Oh,
And Kaun cookies are like the go-to traditional food during this time. Also, like it's very interesting. There are some like rituals done based on auspicious timings, basically. So there's a time when you cook your first meal, exchange money,
nice.
step out of the house, or even start work when you set off for work, basically for the year, for the new year. So it's a mix of like tradition, family, and fun. And another major event that I like to like explain is Vesak. So
Mhm.
Vesak is the Buddhist festival that celebrated the birth, enlightenment, and passing of Lord Buddha. Um, but what really is amazing and which I look forward to most of the time, like from small days, even whenever I go, if I get a chance to go to Sri Lanka during that time, is the scale of generosity that's expressed for around this event. Um, so people basically set up free like food stalls basically, and it's called down south, and they hand out meals, drinks, snacks to complete strangers. So you barely like cook meals at home basically on during this time, like during these days. You just get out of the roads and just walking about and then enjoy all these free meals, basically free food.
Mm.
I reckon you don't see this like often elsewhere. I think I genuinely feel it's like the biggest free food festival in the world.
Oh,
Um,
that.
so everyone just takes part, enjoy, enjoy giving, and no one expects anything in return as well.
Yeah.
Um, so I mean, that being said, like compared to the UK, where like holidays are fewer and usually are more like commercially backed, I
Hmm.
feel like back home in Sri Lanka, holidays are more like deeply connected to community and spirituality.
Yes.
That's something I like to still continue as well.
Yeah.
Even if I'm not in Sri Lanka right now, in some of these days, myself, my missus sometimes prepare some of the like traditional food at home here in the UK, and make calls to friends and family and just stay connected. So, yeah, those are a few.
For those who don't know, I'm married to a British man, and his name's Liam. Great guy, good man. And when we have conversation, sometimes it takes a while for me to respond because I don't know if it's just me or if it's somebody else. Sometimes I have to translate my mother tongue, which is Tagalog, to English. And then when I say it, it doesn't sound right. And then he'll say something. It's like, oh, do you mean this? And I was like, yeah, that's what I meant. Did it come out wrong? It's like, yeah, you said it in a different way. And in the Philippines, there's no sayings. Whereas here in the UK, there's different sayings. I'm sure there's a lot, but I can't think of anything at this moment. But that's the bit that I struggle sometimes. Sometimes when I say it, it comes out wrong. So even though I've been in this country for quite a while, my accent, the way I enunciate it, the way I put it in a context sometimes doesn't make sense. And if I may be so vulnerable, sometimes it knocks off my confidence because it makes me think people might not understand me. But I don't want that to affect the way I am around people. And sometimes the best thing to do is just embrace what I've got, own it. Um, that's just the way I am. And there are good friends of mine who's given a safe permission to correct me, and they'll say, "I think you mean this." So um, that's one of the in between cultures that I've experienced recently. So yeah, great question,
Yeah.
Lindsay. For me, so before I answer that question, it's important to give you guys a little background about me. So I came to this country because of my mom, and my mom, I love my mom. She's an NHS nurse in Wales. And in 2003, the UK had shortages of nurses, and they had to recruit them from different countries, including Philippines. And my mom was one of them. And she was motivated to move to this country and to give her kids a better life because back in the Philippines, around that time, the quality of life is not as good as here in the UK. There's free education here, access to healthcare, whereas in the Philippines, not so much. So that motivation instilled in me. And she also talks about things about education. She said to me, you need to work hard because life isn't always, happy-go-lucky. And education is so important because it will take you places, Erin. It's something so precious. It's something that no one can take away from you. So that's how I have, that's how I am today. That's how the migration story has influenced my identity. And I'm so grateful for that because when it's at work and outside work, when things aren't going well, that's one of the things that's, motivating me to sell and be better and go above and beyond. So yeah.
I mean, growing up in Sri Lanka, there's a strong emphasis on respect, reading the room, and understanding people beyond just what they're saying. Um, so, like at MPD, I found those values to be very useful, especially when working across teams or in meetings. I can usually sense when someone's like not fully comfortable,
Hmm.
um, or when a topic needs more like thorough approach. So I'd say I bring a good balance of empathy and adaptability to the table. A lot that comes from the culture I grew up, I guess. Um, and that's something about the way we raised probably in Sri Lanka. Fun enough, like in Sri Lanka, you're raised to respect your elders and a bit more like formal. But in the UK, things are more relaxed. Like people call their managers heads off or you're like directors or whoever in like first name basis, isn't it? But it's not the case in Sri Lanka. So when I first started working in the corporate world in the UK, it was a bit of a shock for me to get used to it. But now I've enjoyed both, best of both worlds basically, and I've already adapted my communication style depending on whom I'm with, and I definitely feel like my background has helped me build a strong relationship in the workplace. So yeah.
I'd say my answer is similar to yours, because we both work together in professional development. But I have a different role, which is events coordinator, and I'm more on the front line because sometimes I work on the virtual courses, sometimes face to face, and we're based in Manchester in London. And my culture felt like my strength, especially in face to face courses. I remember there was I think it was Directors Development Program Accelerator, and there were a lot of delegates there, and one of the delegates looked very familiar to me because Filipinos are petite, black hair, and when they talk, I can pick up the accent. So I have a great Filipino radar. And we were just chatting, and I asked her, I hope you don't mind me asking, but are you from Philippines by any chance? And she said, yeah. And we got talking. We went all Filipino for 2 seconds. And she's older than me. And you mentioned about respect. So, as a sign of respect in our culture, we also we show it by taking the right hand and then you put it on the forehead. You say "mano po." It's just a formal way of greeting somebody. And after that, I don't know if that was the reason why, but after the course is finished, she reached out to us and said, we want to do business with you. We want to do a bespoke course with you. So I was really happy with that. And even though that's not the main reason she wants to do business with us, I think that contributed to it. So yeah, I think assessing, that's the word I picked up, and that's I can agree with that. So yeah,
Yeah,
um, yeah, I like that.
great.
And we want to say thank you to In Professional Development for giving us this opportunity to talk about our culture and our heritage. And thank you as well for watching this video. We hope that you've learned a lot, and I hope this encourages you to learn about other people's culture within work or outside work. So thank you again, and have a good day.